muggy degrees at first pitch. And Pickens behind the count to Brown, the senior third baseman. Ball 3. Took 2 of 3 from the Eagles at Clemson. Their last midweek was
stadium here in Los Angeles. Number 7 UCLA.
With Marion Collins going deep twice, including the walk-off. There's strike 1 to Maddie Moore.
A couple of back-to-back midweek games to
Pickens, Tennessee coming to the plate when we come back to Knoxville.
Somos fuertes, somos capaces.
Mantén forma, mantén la técnica. Listo. Comienza.
Inhala profundo.
Quiero 10 o más. Vamos.
Vamos, pelotón, todo se supera. Respira. Bien hecho. Adelante, baby.
On a distant world, darkness marched ever closer. In the hour of reckoning, you stood as one. And all the while, you were vacuuming. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
College softball is brought to you by The General. The General gives you a break on car insurance when you need it most. And DQ. Happy tastes good.
Some of the pregame scenes before first pitch in what is now the 4th meeting all-time between Clemson and Tennessee, but the first time these two programs have met here in Knoxville. Kinsey Fiedler leading off for Tennessee. Takes ball 1 from Reese Basinger.
Reese Basinger. Wonder if it's something with the pitch communication coming from the dugout.
Yes, that is what's being worked on here. They're just going to swap out some of the hardware here. Pitches called from the dugout and relayed electronically to the wrist for the senior from Evans, Georgia, who played at Winthrop the last 3 seasons.
Basinger's going to throw a little bit of everything, too. She's got a curveball, she's got a screwball, a drop ball, and a rise ball. She will throw her changeup for strikes. So it's a pitch that she'll use at the beginning of an at-bat. She'll even use it to strike you out as well.
2-0. Basinger, the team leader in innings pitched, 133 innings of work.
Trying to get your timing down for that 73, 74 mile per hour drop ball, but also having to adjust your barrel angle to that pitch to try to get underneath that drop ball and see if you can lift it up into the air.
Another freshman at the plate for Clemson. It's Marion Collins, who certainly has not played like a freshman. Out of Marietta, Georgia. Talked about that South Carolina game where she hit 2 home runs. Collins at .344 on the season with 9 homers, 33 runs batted in to 0-2 rather.
You can see even with that swing there, Marion Collins does a really nice job of keeping her hand.
Second strikeout for Pickens, another 1-2-3 inning for the Tennessee ace.
These pitchers are rolling out there in the circle so far in this ball game. Pickens throwing this drop ball low and inside, gets her second strikeout on the afternoon.
What's that got to do with the price of tea in China? How much time have you got?
Welcome to the start of the new year.
Coming out hard like 8 ball. Nice and controlled.
Worry about yourself, nobody else.
We've been flying, that's so plain.
Keep grinding, Peloton.
Look at all.
I'm here with you, come on.
Look at all these niggas that can't compete. Walk in, out. I be going hard.
That's the way you push through, baby. Proud of you.
Spam. Don't knock it till you've fried it. Sizzle, pork, and mmm.
Season summary for the Lady Vols: 37 wins, 12 in the ridiculously tough SEC. It's been great pitching and a couple of great series stand out. Madison at Oklahoma, at Texas. Oklahoma was number 2. Tennessee won that series, back-to-back series. Then they go to Austin and took 2 or 3 from Texas.
To be able to beat both of those teams on the road in those stadiums, just it continues to impress me about this Tennessee team, especially the way that they kind of bounced back in SEC play. Right before that Oklahoma series, they lost the series here at home in Knoxville to Arkansas. To be able to flip the script that quickly, to go into Norman, to be able to beat Oklahoma on their field, and then a couple of weeks later beat Texas at their home stadium, I think speaks volumes to how much that this Tennessee team has grown from the start of the year too, because remember, they started off this season losing 7-1 to Nebraska, the very first game of this year, and they've just continued to get better and better as this season has gone on.
See bullpen out of play. It's 2-1. Karen Weekly didn't want any congratulations from us when we said you're the #1 team in the country for the first time since 2014. I was almost are you familiar with what a Bronx cheer is?
You're going to have to give me a
That's
lesson
a Bronx
right
cheer,
now.
just a raspberry there. I just did it. I expected that from Karen because she's trying to tell her team rankings don't mean anything. But the last time they were #1 in the country, a shortstop by the name of Madison Shipman was playing for Tennessee.
You informed me of that today too, so I'm learning all sorts of things for today's ball game.
This is hit hard, but foul off the bat of Nugent, and it's 3-2.
One thing that we heard this from Coach Karen Weekly last year, calling several of Tennessee's games. Again this year, talking to her before the start of this ball game, is just trying to block out the outside noise and really focus on the process, focus on the game at hand, focus on your task at hand.
Good job by Basinger to get the strikeout held onto by Vieira. Second strikeout for Basinger, 1 away.
Basinger doing a really nice job of mixing her pitches and locations. Low and away is the spot that Sophia Nugent hits the ball really hard in that location, but she got that late movement on that curveball away to get another strikeout.
Ball 1 to Laura Mueller. Mueller at .304, the senior shortstop with 5 home runs. One. You know, we did a little research, by the way, on the last time they were #1. It was the NFCA poll. They're #1 this week in the ESPN.com USA softball poll. Jeff Muir helped me with this. Shane Switzer from Tennessee. You were the preseason #1 that year, Tennessee, and you got off to a 9-0 start. But then you lost the #1 ranking to an 11-0 Florida team. So you went from #1 to #2 without losing a game that year.
I'm going to go ahead and say that one's my fault because I started off the season going 0 for up at the plate, so maybe I can wear that one. And
you think the voters looked at it with that close of a microscope to say, you know, we'd make them #1, but Shipman is 0 for right now? I found that hard to believe that you would be 9-0 as strikeout #2 of the inning for Basinger, 2 away. That you go undefeated yet give up the #1 ranking, but that was the last time a Tennessee team in any of the polls, and there's 4 major polls now, there wasn't an ESPN.com poll then, was #1. So that's a great accomplishment. It just gives you an idea like where this program is right now.
I think it just goes to show you, too, that these teams are just trying to control what they can on consistent message from Coach Karen Weekly to her team throughout the past couple of weeks.
I thought John Rittman had similar sentiments today, especially right before the game when we were talking about how important this game is. We're trying to win every single game. To do that, you have to shut out everything that, no disrespect intended, that we say or anybody else says. This is a soft liner to center field off the bat of Leach. To Brockenbrough to retire the side. Another 1-2-3 inning for Reese Basinger, scoreless after 2.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal.
We use money as a tool to help all the people we hold in our hearts. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we care about. At Thrivent, we help you plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more.
As prospectors, we know ourselves a boom. So when the Xfinity Wi-Fi started booming, we rushed in. Booming Wi-Fi deserves a booming phone from Xfinity Mobile. And you can upgrade twice a year, whether you need you one.
Where's my phone?
Or just want you one.
This one's even golder.
Upgrade your phone when you want up to 2 times a year with a guaranteed new device discount. Only with Premium Unlimited from Xfinity Mobile.
The Wi-Fi's booming!
Oh, how tough the SEC is this year. You talk about tough. What Tennessee did on the road at Oklahoma and Texas, that was tough.
A couple of big home runs. Ella Dodge with one. Sophia Nugent with another big home run in that Oklahoma series. McKenna Gibson getting it done up at the plate for them in that Texas series. They ended up losing game 1 of that Texas series. Came back to win back-to-back games. Carlin Pickens started both of those last 2 games at Texas. You can see the emotion, just how much it means for this Tennessee team to beat Oklahoma at home, to beat Texas at home, and how much it means for them moving forward through the rest of the regular season and on into the postseason.
Pickens had 2 wins against Texas, 10 hits allowed against the Longhorns. Texas now the number 3 team in the latest poll. A&M slides to number 2, Oklahoma number 4. 8 of the top 11 teams in the ESPN.com USA softball poll from the SEC, and 12 in the top 25. Taylor Pipkins leading off for Clemson here in the top half of the 3rd. Freshman right fielder down in the count 0-2. Rodriguez, an everyday player a season ago for this Tennessee team. Now primarily a pinch hitter for the Lady Vols this season. Takes ball 1.
Rodriguez has one of those swings that just feels like it's tailor-made for pitches down in the zone, the way she's able to drop her barrel practically behind her.
Ground ball to the second baseman. Moore on the first, and that will do it. But it's a new ball game here in Knoxville. We're tied at 3, heading to the 7th.
College softball is brought to you by DQ. Happy tastes good.
Not a lot of history in this series between Clemson and Tennessee, but what history there is has been summed up by tight games, and we're doing it again. Tie game now here as we head to the 7th inning. 3-3 after Tennessee scores 2 in the bottom of the 6th. 7-8-9 for Clemson against Carlin Pickens. Taylor Pipkins leading off. Takes ball 1. Pipkins singled and scored in the 5th, flied out to right in the 3rd. One on one.
This is one of those times, too, if you're Carlin Pickens, you know that your offense has just tied up the ball game in the bottom of the 6th inning. You want to come out and shut down the very first batter that you see in the top of the 7th inning.
Ground ball to 3rd. Panel, 1 away.
Gets Pipkins to go after that off-speed pitch, that changeup coming in mid-60s. Gets it off the end of the bat. Got ahead. Low and outside, too. Some great late movement. Almost tempted to call it a drop ball just because of its velocity and how much it moves down in the zone. But it's just the changeup for Carlin Pickens because her drop ball comes in at 74.
I was going to say, Kylie Johnson fouls it off for strike 1. You did the breakdown right when we came on the air, and you're like, well, there's her changeup at 63. Okay.
Yeah, just think on that for a second. 63-mile-per-hour changeup.
Fastball's in the mid-70s.
And that's the rise ball right there, 71 miles per hour. It'll be anywhere from 69 to 71 miles per hour, but it's got upspin. So it's moving in a different direction than the drop ball and the changeup. So not only do you have to time it up, but you got to change your barrel angle.
1-2 the count to Johnson. Pickens was a first-team All-American last season. The SEC Pitcher of the Year, 22 wins. A 1.12 earned run average. Gets a strikeout here, 2 down. You would think you don't need to tinker with too much, but as you've been breaking down her deliveries, her pitches throughout the season, she's found a way to take that next step forward with command of these different pitches.
Wanting to continue to get better and better each and every year, too, and fine-tuning those.
Analysts checking in. It's also available on the NFL Network, and ABC's coverage takes a look at the prospects' journey to the draft. All 3 days are also live on ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio, and also the ESPN app. Top of the order, it's Kinsey Fiedler. There was a scoring change. Fiedler was credited with a double and took third on a throwing error in the 5th inning. Originally scored a triple, so the change made. That's the right call. So she's 1 for 3 tonight. 2-0 the count to Fiedler. Three and one. Full count to Fiedler.
Seen a heavy dose of drop balls in this at-bat to Kinsey Fiedler, both on the outside part of the plate and the inside part of the plate. Imagine she goes back to it here.
Out of play. Off the plate for ball 4, and the winning run is aboard here in the 7th for the Lady Vols.
A really close take on that drop ball away. We've seen that pitch outside to right-handed batters called throughout today's ball game, but doesn't get the call there on that drop away.
John Rittman's going to head out to the circle here to have a conversation with Brooke McCubbin. The era and the infield will join in as well.
And I'd say a lot of this has to do with the part of the order that is coming up for Tennessee. You've got to face Panel and Gibson back-to-back. Not to mention Sophia Nugent, too, who hit a double in her last at-bat. The heart of this Tennessee order, the run-producing part of this Tennessee order, and now they've got a runner over at first base.
Well, Taylor Panel in game 1 of the Auburn series hit a walk-off homer. She was 5 for 8 in the series. 4 runs, 4 walks, was intentionally walked a couple of times. She has been a very tough out all season for Tennessee. Hitting at .446 and takes strike 1. Enter the game with an OPS of 14-12. Ground ball to second. Throw to Collins covering the bag at second, and a big out there for Clemson as Fiedler's retired, 2 away.
McCubbin gets Panel to chase at this drop ball low and outside. Well-located pitch right at the knees, and Panel gets it off of the end of the bat. Took a little bit of a funky hop there on that last hop to Maddie Moore, but they get the sure out, the lead runner over at second base.
Strike 1 to McKenna Gibson. Gibson singled leading off the 6th, struck out twice against Basinger before that. Karen Weekly is going to have a chat with Boo Gibson. Quick one.
Looked like it was McKenna Gibson that called time on that one, just taking a second after watching that first pitch drop ball go by. Take a moment to reset before she gets back into that batter's box.
Here in Knoxville.
What's that got to do with the price of tea in China? How much time have you got?
Consumer Reports ranks car brands on more than 50 road tests, reliability surveys, owner satisfaction surveys, and safety ratings from IIHS. And for 2025, Consumer Reports' most reliable automotive brand is Subaru. It's no surprise they also named Subaru the best overall automotive brand. Safe, reliable, trusted, loved. Subaru.
Did you know our Jersey Mike's order came with a $25 Fanatics promo code? Insane deal.
Awesome. Can we please turn it off while we're eating? Simon feels very attacked right now. Oh, he feels attacked.
My Mike's members score Fanatics gear, like Simon, just by spending $25 in the app.
Into extra innings here in Knoxville between Clemson and Tennessee. The scoring for Tennessee got started off of the bat of Taylor Pannell back in the 3rd inning, but Clemson responded in the 5th inning off of the bat of Alex Brown. It's hit air by Carlin Pickens in the circle that leads to 3 unearned runs coming across for the Clemson Tigers. In the 6th inning, it's Gabby Leach coming through with the clutch base hit through the right side to tie up the ball game, and that's where we stand. Free softball in Knoxville in this SEC ACC showdown.
We expected a good one. We have not been disappointed. Another tight one between Tennessee and Clemson. Top of the order for the Tigers, and strike 1 to Alex Brown. Carlin Pickens out there to begin the 8th inning. Her longest outing of the season was 8 innings against Arkansas back on March 22nd. Hot shot down to Gibson on a hop to the bag, 1 away. That's a big out for Pickens. You get someone who came in with an on-base percentage of .537. You get her out, start the inning, keeps things a little quiet.
Well, and especially, too, where McKenna Gibson was playing defensively. Because Alex Brown can bunt, slap, hit away, she had to be playing up the line, so that ground ball got to her in a hurry.
Two 2-0 to Maddie Moore. Moore's been on base twice, walked her last time, singled in the 4th, struck out back in the 1st. Good swing, 2-1. Been a steady, positive progression for Maddie Moore in her time with Clemson. 3-1. After hitting 190 as a freshman, 264 as a sophomore, jumped up to 368 last year as a junior, first team all-conference in the ACC at 13. And that had Dodge caught between 1st and 2nd.
Alex Brown running up. I thought watching this one, it looked like she got it in the glove, but Phil Frill's back behind the plate immediately says that it hits the ground, gets into a bit of a rundown between 1st and 2nd is Dodge.
Now, what Clemson would love, and maybe a challenge is coming here, what Clemson would love if this one was caught in the air, but you really can't do anything after that. You know, if it's caught in the air, then you're talking about a force out at first double play and not needing a tag out as she's trying to get back to the bag. Karen Weekly is wondering what's being challenged here, and we're looking for the announcement.
Clemson is challenging the call at first base. The call at first base was the runner was safe. That call is under video review.
Now, because it was a short hop, Madison, if the ball's caught in the air, she doesn't get back to first base, you don't need to tag the runner. But because it's short hop, it has to be a tag play.
Yes, and because she got into that rundown between first and second, too, they ended up running her back to first base after getting the out over at first base.
So the question is, do they tag her out here before she gets the...
It looked like she got her right hand in. I know we can't see first base. Take another look at this angle here. And it looks like that right hand gets in on time.
I would agree. Dave Reinecker, the umpire at first.
And Ella Dodge was in a tough spot, too, because off of the bat, it looked like she had read that ball was possibly caught. So she was caught in between for a second.
Right.
Coach Sanders over at first base was yelling and immediately telling her that she needed to take off to second base. But I think it actually ended up working out in her favor that she was able to get back to first base.
And you heard the umpire announce, so just checking to see if the runner was out at first. There's no review here of was it caught in the air. Well, we have another video review, Madison.
We seem to see a lot of those.
At what point do I request a new rule book for you for the NCAA? Because this one's getting worn out.
Yeah, it's been brought out several times throughout this season. I've read it on air a time or two this year.
You did a dramatic reading of the rule book, which was Emmy-worthy. We've got the call.
After video review, the call on the field is upheld. The runner is safe. That is Clemson's second challenge of the game.
Crazy play, but runner ends up being safe over at first base, and I think that's the right call. She gets her right hand in before that tag was applied. On that rundown, too, Maddie Moore ended up getting the ball to second baseman for Clemson. I'm wondering if she hung onto the ball a little bit longer, if she might have been able to tag Dodge before they got into the rundown.
Savia Morgan is 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded to third her last time. Morgan's had the mix of being a slapper, but also swinging away more in recent games. Looks for the slap here and gets the base hit to left. 2 on with 1 out. Tennessee down a run in the 9th.
Morgan had gone to swinging away a bit. It goes to the slap and hits it hard out to left field for a base hit.
Tennessee has the looks of a team ready for a celebration. Question is, will the Lady Vols deliver something to celebrate? Fiedler takes ball 1. Grounded to short in the 1st, fouled out in the 3rd, doubled in the 5th, walked in the 7th. And John Rittman's coming out to talk to Brooke McCubbin. And to talk to the infield. So wants to get the defense squared away here with 1st and 2nd and 1 out.
I'd imagine here the message is just to continue to throw strikes and let the defense work behind you. Do what you do best. And if you're Brooke McCubbin, that is working that drop ball on both sides of the plate. See if you can try to induce a ground ball out here with 2 runners on board.
Probably also respecting the speed of Fiedler at the plate, knowing that she's going to be tough to double up. So maybe the plays to 3rd here to get that lead runner. A couple of things at play here. Again, this is a Clemson team, as Madison has mentioned. Pitchers generally pitch to contact. They put the defense to work. They're going to have to work here, first and second with 1 out in the 9th. One 0 to Fiedler. 2-0. Two and 1.
Those last 2 pitches look like they're pretty much in the same location. One called for a ball. That last one called for strike 1.
Two and 2.
Drops in that changeup just when you start to expect more and more drop balls. That 56-mile-per-hour pitch tunnels in like a drop ball with that movement down in the zone.
Slicing foul and out of play.
What a win for the Clemson Tigers, who continue to just get better and better as this season goes on.
Clemson with the victory in extra innings. They win it by a final score of 4-3 over the Lady Vols. For Madison Shipman and our crew, I'm Eric Freed saying so long from Knoxville. Time for some baseball.